Alrighty, folks, what's going on? This is Matt here for Dark One Linux Tech Gamers, the fusion of Linux technology and gaming. And we are doing something I haven't done in a while, and that is a music video reaction to from probably one of my favorite, new bands, quote unquote. I use the term very loosely. I've been listening for about a decade now. Is From Ashes to New. So, anybody who doesn't know these guys, they have two singers. One does clean and harsh, one does harsh and rapping and some clean. Also plays a few instruments. So, getting all that out of the way. New song. Uh, People are going to want the kind of quick breakdown of these guys. Dual singers. Linkin Park if they went more metal and stuck with the rap element and leaned into that. So, with that being said, there's much more to that, but I want to get into this new song that they just put out, I believe, yesterday or the day before. Uh, Context, I've known about these guys since like My Fight, Stay This Way, long time. So let's roll into it, see what they got cooking with this song. It'll be always interesting because I never know exactly which way they're gonna go. Okay. Okay, so little surprise. So that build up to the breakdown. There's another song that they have called Heartache that starts out very similar, where it's kind of down on the beat, and then instead of getting into the hard break into the song, the start of the song, they actually lead into more of a hip hop beat with Matt, the other singer, rapping to start the song. This, the way it hits you in the face, I'm assuming is going to be Danny, the other singer, singing and as the start. So that's very cool. This is the element that they incorporate a lot that I like because you never know which direction where they're going to start, where they're going to not, etc. So very cool. Sorry, it's gonna feel like mid stop, but it's not because I kind of know where these guys go with the transitions. Generally, not always. Um, so these hard. Let's get into the B chorus part. Or sorry, the verse part. I'm not gonna go over lyrics. Lyrics, you can go find those. Go use whatever lyrics that you want. The thing I love about what Danny's doing here is there's that electronic element to not just the beat, where it's a doosh, 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 that consistent, bass line essentially going through the entire song. Um, it's kind of got that electronic element filter on his voice, which the closest band that I'm gonna be able to compare that to is only if you've really gone down the metalcore kind of rabbit hole, is there's a European band that goes by the name of Dead by April. They sing in English, but they incorporate a lot of pop electronic kind of elements into their music. And their singer, Pontius, I believe, I could be pronouncing that wrong, does something very similar with the vocal effect until the chorus. It'll shift kind of the kind of whisper effect almost on the talking slash singing part, and as he gets closer and closer to the chorus, the filter kind of goes away. In Danny's case here, the filter totally drops when it hits the chorus, um, and kind of build to that transition breakdown, which is really really cool and something that I don't see a lot of really bands doing because you get Danny up to that point and then you get the hard breakdown as the vocal transition. They do it on a few other songs, uh, but something tells me this one's gonna be, I don't know. So something tells me this one just might be a little different. I guess we'll see.
A new disease is what we want, but what we do instead is dream of demons defeating us till there's nothing left. And we believe it that we're feeling the best when the gods are pressed against the head. We're on a fast track looking for another condition, but now we're half past that. We're the fucking addiction. We got bad habits and we're always pushing the limits. Just a mad, sad madness, a loving the sickness. The end is where we all begin. Wait time for the feeling.
Okay, so that's kind of what I mean. They didn't have as so normally what these guys do when they transition from something like that. Um, I can't think of the song right off the top of my head. Normally, what they do is when they bring into the rapping, except for maybe the song that they did with Chrissy from Against the Current, "Barely Breathing." Uh, Generally, what they do is when they transition to the rapping, they'll usually, not always, but generally break down to like that initial pulse that you were hearing, like at the very beginning of the song. You'll usually hear something like that as their backdrop for sticking with the rap element. Now, I'm not saying they don't have guitar and that stuff in other songs with the rapping element. I'm just saying generally when they do their breakdowns, there's a key section that where it drops out the all the instrumentation and then kind of builds the instrumentation back in as it builds back to the chorus. This they did something similar. They minimize some of the stuff as far as what they're doing in it, and then they build it back up to the chorus with with Danny singing, but they keep a lot of the band elements, essentially the rest of the instrument elements to it, very much in it and not solely relying on the electronic kind of sound, which is again really really cool. And this is why I like these guys because they incorporate so many different elements, and I'm generally usually surprised by kind of how they do stuff. Like, yeah, every band's kind of got a flavor or a flow, but these guys like to mix it up quite a bit, so I'm never really sure which way they're gonna go. um so let's keep rocking.
Nothing to believe in. Put a gun against your head. Pull the trigger, join the train. We live for the sickness. Obsessed and addicted. We're all dying just to be part of a new disease. We wanna feel the sickness. We
Breakdown.
lose control. We feed our new addiction until we overdose. Yeah, we feed our new addiction until we overdose.
So any metal fan can appreciate those breakdowns. It doesn't matter, metalcore, whatever, doesn't matter. If you are a fan of metal, period, you will appreciate that kind of transition. Now, whether or not you like the rest of the song, that is totally subjective and up to you. For me, I love all these different elements that they incorporate. Um, and like I said, to me, these transitions and kind of way they go about structuring a song is what makes them so unique. Obviously, the subject matter is very different, and the elements that they bring to the table, as far as like genre specific elements, rap and metal and rock and electronica and all the other stuff. But it's the way they combine it all to make their own unique identity, which is what I love. Um, So let's see where this break from where they transition from this breakdown into the next thing. Sounds.
We die for the feeling, nothing to believe in. Put a gun against your head, pull the trigger, join the train. We live for the sickness, obsessed and addicted. We're all dying just to be part of a new disease.
All right. So again, short version. Love the song. It does show their, I don't want to say jumpiness, their diversity in their kind of overall music blends that they bring into the table. And it's not going to be something that a lot of people are either going to love or hate. There, there's rap metal core, rap rock, whatever you want to call it, has always had this weird like people either love it or hate it. Um, and at the time, a lot of people didn't appreciate what elements and that kind of stuff get brought in from other genres into, say, my gatekeeping metal core or metal or whatever. As we kind of see some homogeny around, kind of genres blending and stuff. A lot of that gatekeeping was like, oh, so like I like this element, I like that element, I like this element, I like that element. So your ear changes kind of from like this snobby, oh, that's gross, get your fluff out of my peanut butter kind of thing. Um, and it becomes a, oh, it's actually not that bad. I actually might like it. And that's kind of how rap metal or rap rock, whatever you want to call it, new metal kind of falls into. You either like it or you don't. But if you can learn to appreciate it just as it is, as a genre, you will find that you will find elements that you like, even when amongst some things you don't like. And that's kind of why there's elements in rap that I hate. There's elements in hip hop that I hate, R&B. There's elements in metalcore that I dislike. There's elements in rock that I hate. There's plenty of elements in country. I'm not a country guy, but there are certain country things that I can like. But generally, I appreciate you. You will, if you keep an open ear, you can keep an open mind because you can come to appreciate certain sounds that you'll like, regardless of genre. As far as what these guys put out, I love the blend. These guys are their own unique entity. You can compare them to Linkin Park, but that's only a starting point because they do what Linkin Park might have if they stayed in their lane, as Hybrid 3 and Meteoria was kind of at the time. But I think these guys would have carved out their own lane regardless if Linkin Park had stayed that way. So props to Danny, Matt, and the rest of the band. Fantastic instrumentation as always. Fan, Fantastic mixture of elements. Surprising me, as you guys tend to do from most of the time, actually, not just from time to time. From your EPs days all the way to now, different singers, different band members. It's all. I always love the surprises that get brought to the band and to what you guys sound like. So keep rocking, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Indie Gala Patreon, all that crap is in the description and down below. Peace.